Superintendent Crooker report.
Okay, I am pretty excited tonight to welcome Mrs. Lee Armbruster to the podium to share with the board all of the great things that have been happening with both our students who are partaking in various different pathways at our high school for graduation, and all of the work that she, along with our high school administration and our curriculum department, have put in place to really ensure that our kids do have every opportunity available to them. So thank you to Lee for all of her work. Take it away.
Thank you. And thank you all for giving me some time. Normally we do this at the end of the year, so it's great that we could do it now, kick off. And I'm going to speak a little bit about what we accomplished and then where we're going this year and what we planned for the 26-27 school year. So the new buzzword is the CCWMR, which is our College Career Workforce Military Readiness. And it's, another initiative at the state that people are like, oh gosh, one more thing on our report card and all of that. But it is important. And I truly do believe this is important. This is why we're here. When I started at the high school, working with the counselors, it was 5 years ago, which is hard to believe. It was all about getting our students to college. Got to get our students to college. What are we going to do to get them to college? And change, and they said they can figure out what they want to do when they get to college. And the mindset now is we have to help them figure out what they want to do now. We don't know what they want to do for the rest of their lives, maybe not, but we need to give them as many experiences as we can so they know what options are out there. And maybe don't spend $200,000 going to college when that isn't where they need to end up. So how are we preparing them for the future? And this is really basically how do they show that they are college, career, military, or workforce ready. And these are the way we got that I for the state. But, what we were focused on at first was the ACT, SAT remediation free score, which a large portion of our students get, whether they're earn 12 hours of CCP, the honors diploma, AP success on the exams. And those were occurring for a long time in high school, but now we've moved into this career component, the CTE component, the pre-apprenticeships, the industry recognized credentials that you've heard about, the CTE programming through our web exams, our 250 hours if a student is in a work-study program that we've implemented and they get the Ohio Means Jobs, they can show that they're career ready in that manner. Military enlistment is a way. And then we're really working at the high school to open these things up with our program of study to show the students what's out there so they have the options. And this next year, we're really going to educate them more on that so they see what path to take. And we're working on really bringing that program of study to fruition for the students. And then those Future Now events are another way that we show them that. So in the last 3 years, they've been calculating our CCWMR. So in the 24-25 school year, we were at 55.5%. Last year was 65.7. This year, which will be it lags a year behind, but it'll be our 26-27 reporting. We're currently at 74.8. We have till October. There's a few students that we're still working with, and we will hit that 75%. And I'm 99.9% sure we're moving 4-star on that report card. So those are some great gains. I'm really proud of those gains. And most of those, basically all of those have come through our CTE programming. So our pre-apprenticeships, when I spoke to you last year, we had 15 students in the 24-25 school year that received a pre-apprenticeship. This year, we were about 150 students at the high school received a pre-apprenticeship. 114 of them were in hospitality and tourism, and so what we did was we implemented these programs into current classes. It wasn't a lot. It was just bumping those classes up to have the teachers instruct more on career, Ohio Means Jobs, how to be ready, those social skills, how to communicate, all of that was added to these classes. And it was pretty easy, and the teachers really embraced it. So we put it in our Arts and Actions, our Ranger Service, our Arts and Action, which is Dana's class where she went and did the paintings. That was a perfect place to have it. Ranger Service Learning class, they're out working in the community, the ABLE program and the Photography 2 program as well, class. And then our manufacturing class, Todd Bev's class, went through Manufacturing Works. They were out they got internships and worked in different companies in Lorain County. So 4 of those students, 29 students in finance through the sports management, they received their referee through the Ohio High School Athletic Association, and they learned how to manage their own little business. And then, like I said, last year we had the 15 students, which was only in the ABLE program. So that was our biggest push to bump our numbers this year. Another way to show that you're career ready is to get a 12-point industry recognized credential, and that is a CNA, is one way, a certified nurse associate. We were really excited about this partnership, which I know you've heard about. We plan on doing this again this year. We'll have our health fair in October and enroll students for the second semester. But we had 10 students that all enrolled and participated, one from Midview, so that made it 11. All of them, that JVS, so the JVS teachers taught the class, LCC provided the facility, O'Neill Healthcare, they did their clinicals there. So it was really a collaboration of some North Ridgeville partners. And they all made it. 2 of our students did not pass the board, but they went back and retook it, and they did finish. So every one of our students became a CNA. They all had different reasons for doing it, and it was at no cost to the students and very, very little cost to the district on the way we could bring this through the JVS money. So really proud of that as well, and want to keep that going. Last year we had 3 Future Now events. We wanted 4, but there was a snow day on one. So the last one ended up pretty large, like the first 2. But the goal this year is to even make them smaller, just more impactful, more one-on-one for students with people, so that they can have those conversations and learn how to network of that type. But we have the healthcare, which was a great success. Probably, healthcare is recruiting, so they know how to come in and talk to kids and recruit students. The manufacturing, they need the people, but they really don't know how to connect with the students as well. So, it's really a collaboration. I have to work with them to help really engage the students. But the healthcare was great. Military and law enforcement was a phenomenal one as well. And then that last one was a lot, manufacturing, construction, but we had panels. The kids got to ask questions. It was a great event for the students, and I'm really excited about expanding it. So for next year, our goal is to expose as many students as we possibly can to as many opportunities. And we're going to add to the Future Now events with bringing in teachers to talk about their classes that fit into this manufacturing, what classes might work for you, or healthcare, what classes might work to you, and really put it together for them, so they're making that connection. What do I register for when we do our scheduling in February? So that's why I have the program of studies up here in a couple of our classes. So next year they're going to be, and I want them to happen more often, so it becomes more of a part of the high school, not just a couple events a year. So we're going to have First Wednesdays, career exploration series, and we'll have them in October, November, December, February, and March. And so we'll have the panels, we'll have career experiences. We're really going to reach out to our families, our parents. If you have a career that you'd like to share with our kids, we want you, and have them come in and talk to kids, show them those networking opportunities and really different careers that they can explore. And right now we're looking at healthcare. Obviously, we'll do healthcare again. Manufacturing, construction. We're going to bring in the construction site, have some students interested, go tour that. That'll be an early one that we do, probably in October. Military again, business, government agencies, and then a college. We'll do a college type fair as well. So we are including every pathway that a student may take. And then again, we're going to continue on with our pre-apprenticeships, Arts and Actions, RSL, continue with the ABLE. We'll just continue the ones that we have that kind of hit most of our students. What we do want to really expand is on the next slide, the 250 hours work study program, because we're not capturing all those students. So I have a plan to go out to Marks. So a lot of our big Culver's is already a part of my network, but really get with those managers and make sure that we're supporting our students that are working for those places. I do see students that are kind of taking advantage of some of those locations where they're working late hours. So I want to have a better connection with them. We'll get them involved with our 250, and it'll really help support the students that are working, and they should get credit for what they're doing. And then that Ohio Means Jobs is important. We'll do that on the side with them so that they understand the expectations of being a good employee. One program that we've already started, we already have through our maintenance department and our IT department. I met with all of those students when they started this year in the summer program. We got them working on their Ohio Means Jobs certificate. They're logging all their hours. So they're going to come in with their 250 and their Ohio Means Jobs done, and they have shown that they are ready to go out in the workforce. But we're documenting. It's really about documenting what we're already doing. And they're going to get the credit where the credit is due. So I emailed like this today and said that I need to meet with your kids between now and then before you let them go, because I'll never find them in the high school. The CTE programming with our web exams, the FCS, the Family Consumer Science, the drones class, the robotics, and the computer essentials class. We're going to make sure we prepare our kids for those web exams. Another way to show that they are ready. So we've got a lot. We're going to continue to build on what we've done, and we will hit a 5 in the next year. And we'll continue, obviously focusing on our college prep. We got to make sure they're scoring on the ACT and the SAT remediation free, continue that CCP programming, the honors diploma. We really grew those as well this year. So we're hitting every student in what they want. And this one actually, so that's the CTE. And then we are doing our community nights. This flyer's going out. Thank you, Brooke, for putting this together. Our community night is first on the first home game, which is another way that I can reach people to get them to become a part of our network with our students. So off to a great start this year. I'm really excited. I think the 5 future nows, snow, hopefully with no snow today, will work out really well and condense. Smaller we can get them, the better is for kids, because it's not intimidating. So any questions? That's kind of where we're at, and I'm excited to get going.
The CNA program, where does that put them as far as an STNA, LPN? Where is that in that?
That is the STNA. They changed.
Okay.
They changed it because there was like a stigma attached, I guess, to the STNA. So it now is the Certified Nurse Associate. So then it's their first step. They all have to do it at some point in time. So they get it done, and then they can go start into their LPN but it is a requirement of any nursing program to get that certification. So it's the beginning of their whole nursing. And it was pretty cool for them.
It's been amazing to see what you've done with the program. When we started Ranger Academy back in 2014, we had an idea what we wanted it to look like. And we've said all along, what's in the best interest of our kids, their preferred future. This is where the rubber meets the road. And what you've done with it in collaboration with the rest of the admin team and the buildings, the fact that they're all buying into it, our kids only benefit from it, and it's amazing. And you're never allowed to retire. You have such a genuine, sincere excitement about what you're doing, and it shows. And it shows in what you've accomplished, and your presentation show. You just being when you talk about all this. We're very blessed to have you.
So we've got amazing kids, and they deserve, they deserve the best they can have. And I have always said it. They don't know. I look at my family, and my kids got to see so much because of the opportunities that we had. Like they got to go to a factory one time, just things we got to do. And I thought kids need to see this, that's how that's the only way you can do it. Like I was saying, what your dad does, your mom does. You might know what you think you know what a firefighter does, and a police officer and a teacher. And that's kind of sometimes the whole scope that a student has. So it's important. Thank you. I appreciate you allowing me to do it. So
Thank you.
thank you guys.
I have one question.
Yes.
When you go out and talk to the community partners, and you said some of the students are working late hours, are there parameters that say they cannot work past this, and the story end of argument? If you have a problem, contact.
The kids know that they can come and talk to us. They can talk to their boss, but they don't feel like they don't have the confidence to do that. So, and they're not scheduled that way, but they end up, they know not to schedule them that way. There's the work laws, but they end up getting call offs, or they've been getting held over. So I'm kind of the one that can ease that for them and just say, hey, and I've had some conversations with some people, just the student is struggling a little bit, and we just, give them a little grace and support them, and not, if you need coverage and they want to work, they want it, they don't want to be, in trouble because they want the manager to think they're doing a great job and they'll work extra hours. So it's just it's a friendly converation. We've never really had to take it anywhere past that. It usually gets taken care of.
Okay,
If it's addressed, which is good.
All right.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't even think they know what's happening because they're not there at that time,
Right, exactly.
So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. I really appreciate that. I think you all can, and President Bachweg said it, just see the genuine excitement that, Mrs. Armbruster has for not only our students in Ranger Academy, but all of our students across the district. And I would say that actually, matriculates down into the middle school, where year after year, you see that we're trying to do our best to remove various barriers that have been in place for kids. And I think, Lee really exemplifies that in setting the expectation for our kids and raising the bar for our kids and really ensuring that kids have every opportunity in front of them so that they can go out and be successful. And it's not simply that, you weren't successful here, so you're done for. It's, what's next? What else can we look at? How else can we look at your future, and what else can you do to be successful? And Lee really has wrapped her arms around all of our kids, and we're also grateful for you. So thank you.
Thank you.
And again, you're not allowed to retire.
I got lots of time.
We can vote on that.
We can amend the agenda.
Okay.
That concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you. All right, announcements, any announcements this evening?
I would like to ask a question / announcement.
Sure.
With school starting back up soon and we're gonna have lots of events, welcome backs and kickoffs and all this other stuff. Where is the best place for families to get that information? And what kind of things are coming up?
That is a great question. So a couple of things to note. Yesterday, I believe, Brooke Rochong, our communications director, sent out a pretty comprehensive back to school newsletter that did include some very important information about back to school. In there, you have your school supply lists. You have dates for the tax-free weekend, which is August 7th, 8th, and 9th this year. So it is only 3 days. It's a little bit shortened than it was last year. So please be mindful of that. I know that there will be things that will creep up in different classes depending on where students are after they are situated in their classrooms. But make sure you take care of those bigger items over that tax-free weekend if you know. Certainly you can always reach out to the buildings. All of our building principals and secretaries are back in. So if there are specific questions that have to do with your building, please do reach out directly to the building and they'll be able to help you probably far better than we could here. But that's not to say, please reach out to us and we can get you to the right place. Transportation is a little bit different this year. So we are changing our format to My Ride K-12, which is a new app. And that will talk directly with our student information system. And it is a new app that parents will need to download. There is specific information in that newsletter that did go out on how to access that app. And in that app, once ready, you will be able to see your children's stops, the times, the routes, etc. You will also have real-time updated GPS on where your children are as they are riding to and from school. That is not yet available. You can certainly download the app. The information is not there. We anticipate that probably next Wednesday or Thursday, you will see that information go live. But again, our communications director, Brooke Rochong, will send something out to our community, letting you know that information is live and you will be able to see that information in terms of routing and stops, times, etc. That will also come in conjunction with student schedules. So you'll start to see at our high school, student schedules will be live and they will be able to populate and students will be able to see that information as well. I know some of our elementaries don't share that information until school starts, specifically kindergarten. We're doing screening for those first few days. So you might not have that information yet, but that also will come. And lots of exciting things happening. Next Friday, the 14th, there is a back to school kickoff. I think one of the pretty cool things that we're doing is because it is at Liberty Elementary this year, there's going to be limited space on parking. So we are going to use this school and shuttle our littles for the first time, potentially riding a bus. So they're not just going to get the opportunity to walk on the bus, but they're actually going to be able to ride it from here to Liberty. All of the first day of school signs will be available. They're going to open the 2001 time capsule that was buried in the hopes of opening it 25 years later. Here we are. And so that will be opened somewhere probably around 5:30. So please gather for that, especially if you were a student at Liberty Elementary, and see what fun treasures we hid back then. I think that covers it. Was there something specific that I didn't mention?
No, I was just looking for that information and where families could find it.
You got it. And if there are any questions, certainly please call us here. One of us can direct you to, again, where you might need to get the information. We're lucky.
Thank you.
Thanks. And Brooke, you always do such a great job. Often we overlook the communications piece and the importance of it. And I got that newsletter yesterday and it was very well done and it did have all that information, highlighting the successes in our district. And you've done a great job. I don't ever want you to feel overlooked at how well you do your job and how much we appreciate it. So,
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
of course.
You put up a fantastic graphic on Facebook. So was that today?
Yes.
With all of the dates, like it breaks down like all the dates of the school year that people want to know. And the public is going crazy over it. They love it.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah, oh, it's fantastic.
Fantastic. Hashtag Sunday.
Right, that's like trending.
And every time we open a capsule, I feel older. All right. Hearing of the public. If there's anybody in attendance this evening that would like to address the Board of Education, please sign in and state your name and your address, and now's your opportunity. Okay, seeing none, we'll move right into the consent agenda. Education report, Mr. Appleman.
We have one item for consideration on the education report. We have a supervised overnight field trip for the North Bridgeville High School American Sign Language classes to travel to Washington, D.C. and Gallaudet University for a college visit. This trip is scheduled for April 8th through 10th, 2027. This is the first reading for this item. Second reading and consideration for approval will be at the August 18th regular meeting.
Thank you.
I love that trip for them.
The kids are always excited.
Yeah, and they
to
always
come
give
back.
us a great presentation when they come back.
We'll have that again this year, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
We're ready planning.
All right, acceptance of gifts, Mr. Grigsby.
Thank you, sir. It is recommended that the Board of Education accept the following gift with appreciation. The VFW of North Ridgeville donated $2,500 to support the ROX of the Rocks, the Ruling Our Experience program.
Yes, sir.
And we thank our community for the tremendous support of our schools and students.
Thank you. Under buildings and operations, we have one item for consideration. We are requesting approval of the declaration of impracticality for the schools listed in authorization to offer payment in lieu of transportation to the eligible parents or guardian in accordance with Ohio Revised Code. This concludes the buildings and operations report. Human Resources Report, Mr. Haynes.
And that's right. We have the number of items in the human resources report. 9 support staff substitute contracts, 11 certified staff contract adjustments, 1 support staff contract adjustment. This is the first reading of these items. The second reading and consideration for approval will be at the August 18th regular meeting. This concludes as far as the human resources report.
Thank you. And then under the finance report, we have additional business for buildings and operations. We are requesting approval of a GMP amendment number 4, which authorizes the inclusion of the Mira full bid alternate for the new high school construction project. This amendment utilizes available funds within the approved project budget to install a prefabricated Mira swimming pool system in place of the originally planned shotcrete and tile pool shell. I move to approve this resolution in one reading.
Second?
So just bring up again, this was lower maintenance, overall better product, and this was because our DMP came in lower and we had some funds that were available for this, correct?
We did. So if you remember back in May, we presented early on 3 pretty significant alternates that we weren't sure we would be able to afford as part of the project and therefore bid them as alternates, the Murtha pool shell being one of the 3. The other was the acoustical shell for the stage and the wood flooring for the auxiliary gym. We didn't have an exact price yet on the Murtha pool system at that point in time. The construction team was working on finalizing. It's a little bit of a difference in foundation in the way that the Murtha pool structure would sit below ground. It is a far superior product. It does offer a 25-year warranty. It doesn't, we don't run into the same potential concerns with concrete that shifts over time, specifically with the weather in Northeast Ohio, and also eliminates the need for every few years to be replacing tile and grout, and to run into some of the chemical erosions that occur in pools. So just looking out for the long-term health of the community, the alternate, if we could afford it, certainly made more sense from a long-term perspective. At this point in time, we are still sitting at about $1.7 million to the good. And so it really made sense for us to have this upgraded system in order to avoid some future concerns.
Thank you. Great. Any other discussion? All right, roll call please.
Mr. Baca?
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby?
Yes.
Mr. Haynes?
Yeah.
Mr. Waffle?
Yes.
All right, under human resource report, Mr. Haynes.
We have several items to consider under the Human Resources Report. 1 certified staff leave replacement appointments, 3 certified building substitute contracts, 1 support staff appointment, 3 non-NREA supplemental contracts, 1 unpaid volunteer recognition, 1 supervisor resignation, 1 support staff resignation, 1 supplemental contract resignation. I move to approve the human resources items in 1 reading.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Haynes, second by Mr. Grigsby. Is there any discussion?
I have a question about, certified building subs. I know we've had those in the past. What are their duties? And they're like, they're a sub that we hire for the year, correct?
They are in some cases, and in most cases, they are hired to be available for any classroom that might need assistance. If we can't fill, generally, we have at least 1, if not more, classrooms that are unfilled due to a late call off or an emergency that might occur in the building. And so having somebody in the building who's familiar with the kids, who's familiar with the building itself and staff, really does help with that transition for substitutes and really maintaining instruction in the classroom. And this has proven to be very successful for us for the last 5 or 6 years,
We've
actually.
done it for years.
So I think this is our first 3 that we're hiring. Ideally, we like to have 1 per building.
Okay, that's.
I don't think we're there yet, but we certainly would strive for that.
Which buildings are these?
I think have that answer.
You don't know yet.
Taylor Wash's ECLC. I know
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Some of them are covering maternity leaves too.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes they do. Sometimes they will cover a maternity leave. It's something,
Like a 12-week or.
a 12-week, and then they'll go into another building in another 12
Yes.
weeks. So really just depends. I apologize for not having that.
No, that's okay.
information,
I was just curious because I know that we've been doing this for a while and I think it's been successful for us as in terms of having our classrooms covered.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Going back 5 years, one of the reasons we locked down substitutes is because the availability of qualified
Yes.
substitutes has become pretty lean, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have been better, and I don't have the exact numbers, but this last year was probably our highest fill rate that we've had since the pandemic. So we're starting to see that come back up. But ideally, when you do have long-term needs or even somebody who's just familiar with the kids in a building to be able to step in and work with the first grade class in an event of an emergency or a late call off really does help with that continuity of instruction.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Roll call, please.
Mr. Haynes,
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby,
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mr. Vaca,
Yes.
Mr. Wackelman.
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education adjourn this regular meeting.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. McCarthy, second by Mr. Haynes. 6:29. Roll call, please.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mr. Haynes,
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby,
Yes.
Mr. Vaca,
Yes.
Mr. Wackelman.
Yeah.
So 6:29.